Hi everyone, my name is Veronica Adams Eze. Welcome to Vera Adams YouTube channel. If you'd like to know how I made this corset pattern, kindly watch till the end. Before we get started, this is my second video here on YouTube. If you have any questions, kindly feel free to drop them in the comment section. I'll be there to respond to you. And do well to encourage me by subscribing to this YouTube channel if you find this video useful. So without wasting any more time, let's get right into it. So right here, I've already taken my shoulder to bust line, which is 11 inches, shoulder to under bust 15 inches, and shoulder to waistline, which is 17 inches. So taking the shoulder measurement for 7.5 inches, and I came down by 1 inch for the shoulder slope, and I'll also take my armhole line as at 7 inches. I'm taking the nipple to nipple measurement, which is 8 inches. I divided by 2, that will give me 4 inches. So I'm marking 4 inches on the bust line, on the under bust line, and on the waistline. Going ahead to connect the 3 points with my ruler so I can have a straight line. Moving on, I'm using a neck width of 3 inches, meaning that I will have 4.5 inches left on the shoulder line. I'll divide that into 2, and from that point, as you see me do right here, I'll connect it down to the bust point. On the bust line, I'll be coming up by 4 inches, and I'll make a mark right there. Moving on, I'll be going down to the waistline to take the dart, and I'll be using a dart of 2.5 inches, but I will be sharing it equally. I'm taking a 0.75 inches on this end, and on the other end I'll be taking 1.75 inches, making a total of 2.5 inches. I'll be doing same for the under bust, that's 0.75 on that end and 1.75 on the other end, just as you see me do right here. Then move ahead to connect the points from the under bust to the waistline. I'll then connect from the bust point down to the under bust, just as you see me do right here. I'll do that for the other end, making sure that my French curve is properly placed to give me the perfect curve. I might need to move the curve around a few times to get the best positioning. So right here, I'll be taking the horizontal measurements. I'm taking the bust span measurement and bust off. I'm working with a bust of 38 inches. Here I'm dividing what I have on the armhole line, which is 7 inches. I'm dividing it into 2. So I'm marking the points there. And from there, I'll go in by 0.75 inches. I'll go ahead to connect this point to the shoulder line, just as I'm doing right here. From that same midpoint, I'll be connecting it to the bust span measurement that I took, like this. I want to take the under bust measurement, which is the 3 inches divided by 4 is 8.25. Then I'm adding the 2.5 inches for the darts. Please remember to always add your dart measurement back. I'll be doing the same thing for the waistline. The waistline measurement I'm working with is 34 inches divided by 4 will give me 8.5 inches. So I'm marking that right here, and I'll also take back the 2.5 inches for the darts, which is what I'm doing right here. All I'm doing right here is to just extend the lines, and from there I'll connect the points that I marked, the measurement that I took. I'll connect them together with my ruler. I'll be tightening the over bust from the 4 inches above the bust points that I marked earlier, and I'll be using 1.5 inches. I'll be dividing it equally into 2. That means 0.75 on the left side and 0.75 on the right hand side. Then I'll be connecting it with my curve rule. As I said earlier, make sure you place your rule properly so that you can get the desired curve. And of course, I'll be doing the same to the other side. next thing is to determine how deep I want the neckline to be. Here I'll be using 9 inches. Yes, from the shoulder, 9 inches. Right from that point, I'll go out by 0.5 inches. That's half an inch. And then I'll make a roll like this. From the bust line, I'll also mark half an inch and connect it to that point, just as you see me do right here. And from there, I'll connect it to the first dart leg on the under bust line. You can see how I'm turning the roll just to get the perfect curve. So it really doesn't matter how long it takes, as long as you get the perfect curve. On the bust line as well, I'll be going down by 2 inches. This is because my client's waistline at the front is 2 inches longer compared to that of the back. Could be 1 inch or 1.5, whatever you get, just come down from the bust line by that number. From the half inch that we marked earlier, you connect it to the first dart leg on the over bust line, just like this. You connect the second dart leg on the over bust line to the armhole. I'm turning the paper around so that it can be easy for me to cut through. I'll be cutting that line, that 2 inches that I came down by from the bust point. Now that I'm done cutting, I'm trying to close that part up. But if you're paying attention, you'll notice that it's really hard for me to do. And there's a reason for that. That's because for you to close up one dart, you have to open up another. So that is why you see me cutting open this dart. Did you notice how easy it is for me to close it up, unlike before? This is the essence of cutting open the other dart. So right now I'm going to go ahead to correct the unevenness around this measurement. I'm going to bring in my ruler right now to blend in so that I don't have any unevenness anymore. So right now I've done that and everything is fine. Moving on, I'm going to divide what I have around this armhole line. I'll divide it into 2 and I'll make a point there, as you see me do here. Then from that point, I'm going to connect down to the dart leg, the second dart leg on the under bust line, just exactly as you see me do here. After careful positioning of my curve, I'm going to connect like so. To avoid confusion, I'm going to number them because this thing after cutting out can be really confusing. Center bust and side bust, and I'm going to be putting an arrow to indicate that that is where I'll be joining. Pardon me, I would have to rotate the paper again so that it can be easy for us to see as I close the dart around the over bust line. I could actually cut this straight without closing this part, but I want to make sure that when I'm joining both sides, I don't have one side longer than the other. So I want to ensure that what I have here is equal. So I'm purposely doing this so to check if what I have there is equal. Watch carefully as I place one dart leg over the other, and you can see that it is properly covered. This could take a while. Please do not rush it. If it wasn't equal in the beginning, now you can correct it. I'm going to go ahead to determine the kind of neckline that I want. Because I want something like a queen and neckline, I'll be taking it this way. I'm drawing a line from the neck width down to the second dart leg on the over bust line. The next thing is to cut out. confused during any of this part of cutting, please feel free to drop your questions in the comment section. I'll be there to respond to you. So right now I'm almost done with the cutting. So right now I'm done. Yes, as you can see, I'm placing everything that I just finished cutting here together. The advantage of pattern drafting is that in case there's any error, you can easily correct it before transferring onto the fabric. Since we're done with this, let's move on to the yoke part. Please note that you can do any neckline of your choice. You can do a neckline with skill, a round neckline, whatever. But for the sake of this video, I'd like to do this type of neckline. Exact type that just popped up on the screen. So here we have the neckline cut out. Don't forget, you have to cut 2 pieces of this, one for the left side and one for the right side. So here is the end result of this whole tutorial. We have the neck piece, which you can also refer to as a yoke. We have the center front, the side front, we have the side bust, and we have the center bust. If you watched this tutorial up to this part, I want to say thank you. Do well to subscribe if you found this video useful. I'll be uploading more useful sewing tutorials, so stay tuned to this channel.